Hey guys, come on in, head. Yeah, hold on. Oh, there you go. You know I don't be knowing. He hear me. Like, look, come over here and help me. Y'all laughing at me. Yeah, hold on. That's why I'm live. That's why I'll never go live. See?
At the stream.
Yo,
Look, I
yo,
did it.
what up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. You look good, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. You know your
Mhm.
sister don't know how to do no technology.
I see you be struggling. You be struggling. You and mine, all that. I be struggling.
I can't do this. Well, I just want to thank you so much for being on the show today. Just want to say hello, hello,
What up? What
hello,
up? What up?
hello.
What up? What
This
up?
is episode number 14. What a man. What did I say this was?
What a man. What a man needs.
Yeah, a man has needs too.
You
This
ain't
is
lying.
episode number 14. I'm so glad that you're on the show today. I have my little big brother. His name is John Patrick
Oh
Charleston.
Lord,
Yes,
she
I
done put
really
out my
did
whole
say his
government.
government. He goes by Pat Charleston. You're gonna hear me call him Head.
Yeah.
I love him to death, but thank you so much for taking the time with me today.
Nah, I appreciate you having me. You know, you've been counseling on me for the last couple weeks and stuff. So,
I
you know,
haven't
you
been
got.
trying to.
Nah, it's cool. You know, I like to do stuff like this. I think it's just to kind of see you jump out the window and do something that you are passionate about. You know, I support the family and all endeavors. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. And wherever it may go, you know, I told you last time I got my little drink with me, girl.
Yeah.
I'm set. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to say it's funny you let we know each other so well. I was gonna say that anyway. I am sorry. I haven't been trying to put you off. You know, your sister is a Gemini. So in my
Right.
head, I'm going how I want it to flow.
Right.
And I said, when I put my brother, I'm gonna go live, but I hate going live. But they always like, just go live, go live. So
Yeah,
we
I think
here.
that's the beauty about the Truth Be Told podcast. Like, you know, when you do it straight up off the hip, you know, live, people get to see like the true authenticity of like who you are and who your guests are. So it allows everybody to make the mistakes. It allows everybody to kind of grow through those things. That's what we hear, you know. I think
Right.
it's the true essence of Truth Be Told.
You're right. You're right.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. And I just want to thank you. Thank you
well.
for saying that. I wanted to bring this episode on because as I look at my avatar and I look at what she needs and what she wants, this is something that she could have got advice from at a younger age.
Right,
And as far as what a man needs coming from a man.
right,
On episode number 13, it was 4 things that a woman needs.
right.
And I got to talk to the Miss Shy Bibia. She's awesome here.
Yeah. I
Um,
listened to her. Oh, Shy. She was dropping some gems.
yeah, she's
Mm,
awesome. She's real big on YouTube, real big.
yeah.
So yeah, so she's and so she was talking about maturity. She
Hmm.
said decisiveness. She said consistency, and all of that equals strength.
Right.
And we talked about different layers of that and what a man needs and what a woman needs.
Right.
Um, as I'm looking at it now, women today, as far as feminine and masculine roles, are changing. You have 60% women enrolled, as I said before in my last episode, in college, where
Right.
there's, I believe, 30 to 40%, don't quote me,
Right.
but of men enrolled in college. And it's sad, but it's
Right.
also for us, it's empowerment. It's
Right.
empowering. Like women, I mean, really, when you go and look at people in the office, what do you see predominantly?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you see
Well,
mostly women.
right.
And
That's
so I just wanted you to come on here today to share your intake and how you feel as far
right.
as those roles today in
Hmm.
2022, and where you stand on that. Before
Right.
we do that,
Right.
I want you also, I want you guys to know my brother is a store manager. Now, I know I'm getting it wrong. I know Nike has their own terms. So
Right.
I know you're going to correct me. But
Right.
he just the head. He the head
Right.
honcho.
Right.
And so he has a store out in LA. I'm so proud of him. He was there to see the store from the ground up. The numbers are amazing. He sees all types of things come and go. I'm so proud of you. Daddy would be so proud of you. You're also doing your own entrepreneurship as well with
Right.
the Black Originals. I want you to also, yeah. It's funny because Pooh was like, he gonna get on there with his stuff on there today. I said, you better leave my brother alone. Then he told us, well, you ain't got that rag on your head. So yeah, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and steal the show and take over. Before I do, guys, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. I'm new. Talk to me. Let me know what you need. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to serve you guys. So go ahead, take over the show.
Nah, for sure. No, but first, like, I'm out here in LA. Been in LA now for about 2.5 years. It don't seem like it's been that long, but it's been about 2.5 years. And yes, I was brought out here, kind of with Nike, but just to kind of like, touch on something that you guys talked about. You talked about the 4 different pillars. She kind of gave like 4 different things that a woman needs from a man. And I don't like necessarily like disagree with what Shy was saying. I come from like, I ain't gonna say the old school because I'm only 32 years old, but we were raised by to me what a true definition of a man is, right? And I learned things to do from him, and I learned things not to do from him as well. So just to kind of like stick with her format, the 4 things, my 4 things that I believe, and I truly believe that men need, is first off is peace. Like, I think that's probably one of the most like overlooked things. Like, men are very simple. We want to eat, we want to watch our sports. So what we do, we want to get some, we want to get some, we want to make some bread. Like, we want to do those little type of things. The second that I had was love and unconditional love. Because all women know, and I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent, but we mess up sometimes, right? As everybody do. So I would say unconditional love. The third one, I would say trust, and kind of like encompassing with that, security. The woman has to be secure on who she is,
right?
Because when you have a man that's like standing tall in who he is and truly know who he is, like, that can be, it could almost come off as like intimidating a little bit to the woman, especially if she's not secure in who she is. So you can find that out really quickly when the man is starting to stand up in his own space. You can see how the woman reacts. Like, do she take her position? Do she, how does she maneuver in that space? And then the fourth one, which I always feel like is such a hot topic between males and females, is the submissive, like being truly submissive to your man, and like slash with like, what I call it, like, me and Camille was talking about it earlier today.
Monica.
Hey, Miss Monica. Hey, girl. But I think the other one was compromise. That's what it was. Like, it was like submissive / compromising.
Right.
So, if I go back and I like touch on like peace, right? And like what that means. I mean, think about it. No, matter of fact, let me go back. You made a statement earlier when we first started about like the households changing, right? Like, the woman is kind of being a little bit more predominant in the household. And to me, I think that's why we are where we are. And it's I got 3 beautiful daughters. And I want my girls to be very self-sufficient, very independent. But I think that is a very, very slippery slope.
Well, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
I'm glad that you said that, because that's why I brought you on the show. I want to give a shout out to our mom. Right. We have, we talk a lot about dad, but Mama, we love you. And She know I love her.
Right.
I'll get emotional about it. But she taught us to be strong, to be
Right.
independent.
Right.
She taught us how to stand on our feet. You, me, and Desiree.
Right.
She really was a strong definition of a strong woman, and I think that's where it starts.
Right.
Like you said, you think that's a slippery slope. Now we can go back and piggyback
Right.
about you talking about submission. We're gonna get there too, because I need
Right.
to understand
Right.
what you're talking about,
Right.
so
Right.
I can understand. Maybe I can take some gems from
For
that.
sure. For sure. It's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard.
it's hard. But I definitely want to touch on the fact that you said that as far as, you know, the roles changing
Mm-hmm.
and you feel like that's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
As far as it goes all the way back even into the Bible. And it
Right.
tells you, you know, as the man, you know, leaves the woman and cleaves to his wife, they
Mm-hmm.
become one.
Right.
And sometimes if the man didn't have that definition of a
Mm-hmm.
strong black woman,
Right.
which is the foundation,
Right.
which is the issue
Right.
sometimes,
Right.
then that's where you get the generational curses or generational things and stuff
Right.
go passed down and passed down. I mean, think about it.
Right.
It's evidence. Look
Right.
at most people's moms and
Right.
then look at their daughters.
Right. Right. I mean,
I
you and
mean,
mama are
I'm
like
not
are the
throwing no shade, but
you are
look
mama.
at me. I'm
Yeah.
Thelma all day.
Mm-hmm. All day.
I'm mama all day.
Right.
And I think that's why she knows my heart, and of course she's my mom.
Right.
She knows when I'm hurting and all of that.
Right.
And so what I realized is that if you don't have a strong foundation, whatever
Mm-hmm.
that is, some people don't have a mom, some people
Mm-hmm.
have a grandma, some
Mm-hmm.
people have to be adopted. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
everybody's situation because everybody's unique, and that's not
Right.
throwing no shade.
Right.
But if that foundation is not strong,
Right.
then that's where you said, as you said, you know, the issue. That's
Yeah.
all I wanted to say.
No, I believe, and the reason, and I'm not saying it's like an issue. What I want to make sure people understand that are listening is like a woman. I believe, and I may be wrong because I'm not, but I think every woman like has been in it's somewhere in her relationships, and it doesn't have to be like with her man. It can be with her father. It
Mm-hmm.
can be with her mother. At some point has gotten broken, right? Like at some point in their life have gotten broken, and they tell themselves like, I'll never be in this situation again. Oh, I was submissive to this man. He walked out on me. He left me with kids, and I have to figure this shit out on my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, you go to, oh, I'm a date, I'm gonna do my thing, but I'll never be fully submissive like I was with this previous person.
Right.
So, and I think that right there lies the problem. Because to me, when you truly love, right, and this goes back to that love portion of like what I say,
Mm-hmm.
when you truly love a man in your situation, you trust him enough, which is a part of the part for him not to take advantage of you. Like one thing I want to say, and it kind of touches on the subject. Like I look at my mom and my dad. I think dad was like such a strong, powerful. You know, his presence was felt when he walked into a room. Mama was being, you know, submissive but standing on her own too. One thing that I learned from that situation is even though mama has always had a job, she's always done her thing. I think that, you know, us as men, we have to know when to take that step back,
Right.
because as men, we're going to get the opportunities for the jobs. Black men is different. That's a whole nother subject. But we're going to get, you know, those jobs. Black men going to get the job before the black woman gets the job in some spaces. Right. And it's our job sometimes to kind of like back up and allow her that time to shine. And I don't know, because I was young, but I do think the natural thing that our father did was provide, you know, you take care of the babies the traditional way, but didn't make enough space for her to grow in
Right.
that area. So when the divorce happened, right, it left her in a space of like, oh hell no, I got 3 kids, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. She'll never go back to that space, right?
It's
But
the survivor mode.
right, right,
It's Mama still has the survivor mode. You
Right.
know, she has savings. You know,
Right.
I barely have a savings. I'm being
Right.
real. I'm being
Right.
truth. You know,
Right.
I have a little bit of savings, but them
Right.
I have savings. You
Right.
know,
Right.
we good. Like I say, we good because we good.
We
That's my
all
money too.
good.
I'll just play. That's her.
Right.
All she gonna tell you. That's her money.
Right.
Milton might say it's his money, but tell
Right.
him he in the back of the line. That's her brother,
Right.
y'all.
Right. Right. Right.
But she doesn't allow herself to breathe, and
Right.
so those situations. Hey, Amisha, the Change After 40 podcast. I want to give a shout out to you guys, my POTR sisters. They're my accountability sisters. Every morning we meet at, I believe it's 6:30 a.m. every morning here. It's about 20 of us, and we really fellowship, and it just brings me so much joy. So hey,
That's
hey,
good.
ladies. So I'm cutting up a little bit, so just don't pay me no mind. But as I was saying, you know, with Mama, she's had those emotions, she's had those fears. You know, you said with Daddy, and even before Daddy. You know, she had whatever she dealt with
Right.
grandma and you know her childhood.
Right.
Those follow you,
Right.
and so what you don't realize is it follows your kids.
Right.
I realize now at the age of 34 that I am really like I'm mama and papa.
Right.
Like I have a lot of their traits.
Right.
Like the worriness, the like don't think nothing's gonna come, gotta save, gotta save,
Right.
gotta save.
Right.
Stay put, that safety mode, scared to come out of survival mode, so that you can go to the top and take chances, all of that.
Right.
Like I'm just now learning that, and I still deal with that. Like today, you know, I'm very angsty.
Yeah.
I've been angsty for a while.
Yeah.
You know, I'm about to move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's time. I mean, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like either way, I have to go.
Yeah.
You
Gotta jump out the
know,
window.
yeah. And so it's like, okay, Brittany, about to make it happen, and
Right.
you don't know what's gonna happen. And I talked to it's funny, I talked to Candy, Miss Candy. I don't know if you remember her. That's Ebony who did my hair.
Yeah.
She used to live in Texas and just gave me the best advice and just told me how God and how faith works. And when you step out there and you believe, and He's gonna take care of you.
Every time.
He's definitely gonna take care of you.
Every time.
And so I just wanted you to realize, like with Mama, you know, to take it back and bring it back to what you was talking about. You know, Mama has that energy. And so that energy, I have a lot of that. Like that, what's wrong? What's wrong? That's why Mama Sarah used to be like, when we used to call her, and she used to be like, why you always saying what's wrong? Like she couldn't take it. She's our nerves is bad. Well, we've been dealing with stuff. How long Daddy been gone?
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
You know,
2008, 14 years, right?
Yeah, 14. Yeah. We coming up on it, April.
Yeah. What I'll tell you, and to kind of like go back to like what the man needs, I think when you talk about all of those things that we just talked about, like what the woman brings, but do you feel like that's fair? It's not. If we go off of what Shai said on the last episode, right? And she talked about maturity, she talked about decisiveness, you know, she talked about a lot of, you know, different things in that space. But to allow the man to do those things, you have to be submissive to some degree.
And I think that's what Mama used to talk about when she said you gotta bend.
Yeah, you gotta be. You have, like, submissive is it get used in such a negative light, right? I truly believe a man will never be successful without a woman, and a woman would never be successful without a man, right? I think
Adam and Eve.
Man, listen, like, and we all have to understand that. And Shai said in the last episode that, you know, she don't specifically think that the men and women should play like parts and who do what in some degrees. Like she said that, and I'm a firm believer in that. I do believe that, you know, we as men, and as Black men, let me rephrase that. As a Black man, we take arrows in every shot. like every space that we go into. So if we're trying to like break down the door in the corporate world and provide, right? One of the things that women love from a man for us is to provide for the family. Like we have to go through and deal with all of the scrutiny that comes with being unapologetic of yourself. And if you don't want to be unapologetic, then you like conform to what the system is. And if you conform to what the system is, your community rejects you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you trying to play this like crazy game and you're out there in the war, right? I call it the war of like life.
Right.
So then when you come home, you want peace, you want the unconditional love. And when I get to the trust part, I'm not talking about like infidelity and like all that type of stuff. Yes, that's a part, like that's a part of it. I'm talking about trust where the man can come home and take the wall down, take the mask off, take the exterior off, and lay on the couch and get his head rubbed and be vulnerable with his lady and know that she won't take advantage of that, you know, because so many times when we as men are vulnerable, we get looked at as weak. We get looked at as, what the hell you crying for? You all right? Like, you know, in my life now, if anybody in my circle look at me like that way, then you're not a part of my circle because I'm a man. I cry. I lead a group of beautiful women. I everything that you would think that would make a person weak, I do it all. I do it all. Like I am very emotional person, and I think that's what makes me the strongest because I'm able to sit and tell my lady like, I need you to love me. I need you to be more affectionate with me. I need you to like touch and feel. I need that. Like those are the things that we need to know that mama got us at home. You know what I'm saying? As a black man, we always try to call our ladies our mamas and shit. So when we get home, like we want that touch, that feel to say, baby, everything gonna be okay. And like I'm not gonna go down to like the simple stuff of like making sure everybody's fed and the food and like the kids. Like that is like already kind of set in stone. I do believe that women will always take on more of that burden with the kids, but I also think that men shouldn't sit on their ass and not do anything. I think that we have a point in that as well. So to kind of like to kind of wrap that up, I really feel like for the woman to want things from a man, it ultimately starts with the submissiveness. It starts there because, and I'm not saying submit to everybody. I'm not saying that you have to, oh, I really like this guy and I want to just give it all to him. It's like,
no,
no,
you mean
like,
the one that you feel like God
yeah,
and you submitted, you made this union with.
right.
You know, the Change After 40 podcast said you have to lead in the right way. That's very important. I think it really starts, like you said, with submissive, but if you back it up even further, you have to learn you first.
Right.
You have to know who you are. That's the take and give in a relationship. You first of all, you have to know what type of man you got. It's you know, it could be two different type of men sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
You have to definitely understand the mindset of that person.
Right.
Before you can even go and have a relationship, let alone you done already made a baby with them.
Right.
Let's not even go down that road. You know, I think sometimes the conversation I miss with daddy was the man conversation. My baby daddy are not like my man. Right. You know, I mean, my baby daddy are not like my father. Yeah.
Right.
You know, in certain aspects, I see. As the older I get, though, I respect the man. I respect daddy. I respect you. Especially the black man. You know, I don't like to categorize black from white, you know, to Asian to Hispanic. Right. But I have to relate it because, for one, I'm a black woman. I can't relate as a black man. Right. But I can say, you know, as far as what a man needs, you know, I know that a man needs to be supported. And when sometimes a man don't always feel, like you said, supportive with a woman, because it starts with you first. That woman is hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
From stuff that even before she even had a baby, something happened with the family. This thing came and went, and now you know, now all of a sudden it's in this relationship. And then you didn't, like I said, you done had a baby with him. Yeah. Yeah. My friend, she had a baby, and I don't like to say names, but she watches me sometimes. Right. You know, and she had a baby with somebody, and she called me, and she was upset, and I was upset for her. But in my head, I was like, you knew better. Right. You done saw me You saw what I went through with my
Right.
first child's dad.
Right.
You know, I had to deal with that. And I
Mm-hmm.
deal with whatever Layla goes through on my own with
Mm-hmm.
Pooh. But
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm married to Pooh, I even deal with the same talk of the side. I deal
Right.
with the in-law. That's
Yeah.
another whole subject.
Right.
That's
Right.
another whole subject.
Right.
Those
But
are
you
the
know,
conversations I miss with my mom.
yeah,
You
but you
know,
remember like those things are like that's a to me that's a part of a relationship. I think so
Mhm.
many times we get caught up in like the physical attraction with somebody or like you know how things are in bed with this person. Like we get so caught up in that space that you can't look behind the thing and like, oh man, like I'm marrying into a certain family or a certain thing. Like I prayed for I'm family oriented to the core.
Mhm.
So when we are broken and we not right, I'm not right. I don't
Mhm.
care how far I'm away. I don't care who I talk to and who I don't talk to. But when the family ain't right, I ain't right. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Regardless of how third, fourth, fifth cousin, if you've been around me my life, like I just it don't feel right. So what I'll say is like when the it still goes like you said that woman is she may be hurt and all of these different things but it ultimately goes back to her. You have to let it go.
Yeah,
You
you do.
can't bring it.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
do.
bring it because what
You
you
do.
do is you bring it from your childhood traumas, your relationship, but then you expect for this man to be everything. But maybe he is, you just not letting the wall down for him to do it, you
But
know?
both of you have to let it go. It's not
But
always us.
it's not always the woman, but what I'm
Right.
telling you is like the man's emotions is easier to let something go than that woman is,
Of course.
right? So what men want, and it goes back to that portion of like trusting, we're gonna tell you everything.
Mm-hmm.
The moment that we feel like we can trust you, you love us unconditionally, we can come home and we can say everything that's on our heart, everything that we feel and don't feel judged. We get judged every fucking
Yes.
day, every moment, every second in work and home and your friends and this person is doing that, this family is doing that. Like we get judged in all aspects. If it's a man in the family, if you have a man in a relationship and it's a man and a woman, if the family look not up to par, they're not where they need to be, the man gets the blame for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I always say it starts at the submissive stage, but I'm talking about submissive stage for long term. I'm not talking
Right.
about a fling or nothing like that. I'm saying if this is the person that you want to be with and you want to see if he's the one, like you're gonna have to be vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and understand that, and I think even goes back to our relationships. We jump too quick.
Yeah, we
We'll
do.
finish one relationship and we'll jump into another. You don't give yourself time to damn
Heal.
you got to go through it.
Yeah, you do.
You have to be able to like find yourself and
It's
like
funny
go
you
through
said
your own
that, and I
space.
don't want to I don't want to cut
No,
you
you're
off.
good.
I just remember the song you gave me when me
Mm-hmm.
and AJ broke up, and you
Mm-hmm.
said it was by Marvin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
just don't want to know. I
Just don't
still
want to
play
know.
that song.
Yep.
But when I tell you,
Yeah. I know. You gotta let that thing go, girl. Because at
but
the
when
end of
I
the day,
tell you,
mm-hmm.
he done brought me through.
Yeah.
He done brought me through, head.
I know.
He done brought me through. I know I still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But he done brought me through.
Oh, I know.
When you gave me that song, I couldn't see past him.
Right.
I couldn't see past him.
Right.
That's all I didn't care about. I wanted me, him, and Layla. I wanted it to work.
Right.
I knew he wasn't good for me. I knew he was this. I knew he was that. But I
Right.
wanted it to work.
Right.
Because like I said, we came, even though mom and dad was separated, we
Mm-hmm.
came from a divorced family. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so we dealt with all types of stuff. We know about
Yeah.
the step, and I don't
Yeah.
even like to use that word, but we know
Right.
we know every type of aspect of
Right.
a divorced family.
Right. Right.
So, like you said, I ain't mean to cut you off, but I
No,
had
you're
to go
good.
there. I had to
Nah,
go there.
nah, I think, but it's
Yeah.
cool. Like man, like it's strength in recognizing where you are. I think that helps in life. It
Right.
helps not in just in relationships, right? But you gotta know where you are and just own your shit.
Right.
Like, this is where
You
I
gotta know your
am.
circle too.
Listen, like I got a handful of people that
Right.
I stay in contact with, and they know some of them
Right.
that I talk to all the time. Some of them I don't, but they know if they pick up the phone and call me. If I pick up the phone and call them, it's all love. It's like nothing
Right.
missed. You know what I'm saying? So I keep my circle like super tight, super small. I love people in
Hmm.
general. You know what I'm saying? I love to host. I love to have people all around. But what I'll tell you is like, yeah, like you were going through your stuff in the past, and you like the song said, you gotta want to know. Like,
Right.
you just gotta you gotta know that you are in the midst of this storm, right?
Hmm.
And what one thing I will say to kind of touch on that is like, men, every man that's listening to this podcast, like, we have a fucking duty not to take advantage of these women, especially when they coming out of these like situations. We have a duty to let them know from the rip what it is. If you just want to like get with her and move on, like, say that, bro. Like, because I think it may be tough at the beginning for the girl to hit, but at least you can respect it, right?
Right.
Like, don't play with somebody because Sha said at the end of the end of the episodes, like the last episode was like, just because you with somebody for 7 years, I mean, you got to be with them for 17 years,
Right.
right? You
That's
don't.
true too. And
You ain't got to stay
that's
with
funny
nobody.
it's funny you say that. Like, truth be told, I went from
Right,
Layla's dad, and I
right.
went straight into my husband.
Uh-huh.
And all I knew was long-term relationship. At
Uh-huh.
that time, I played around a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but I don't have like a whole load. I love a
Good.
woman, and that's another subject, another topic I will
Right.
have. That's
Right.
that loves her body and have different. If
Right.
she's
Partner. Yeah.
sexual, that's her.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right.
That's her. Who are
Right.
you to judge her?
Right.
If
Right.
she looked down the road and she done had all these men and you done slept with this one for 60, 70, 80 years,
Right.
I mean, y'all got two different journeys.
Right.
But she can say at 80, she lived because that's what she wanted to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to respect the woman that does it like that. I got a best friend. I love her to death. Love her to death.
Right.
But that's her all day.
Right.
That's her all day.
Right.
But that's, that's, like I said,
Right.
that's another subject.
Right.
But
I guess I got a question for you. When Sha has said something about like the man leading, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is always a hot topic in these type of subjects. Talk to me about like finances in that space. So
I'm glad you said that. Let me tell you about God.
Yeah.
He in the
Right.
room now. You see,
Right.
my ladies is on the call. He in the
Right.
room.
Right.
Okay, so finances.
Mm-hmm.
Finances is funny because if a man don't lead, if a man
Mhm.
don't have, like, that's why I wanted
Right.
you to come on here. I'm so proud of you.
Right.
Like, I don't know how you are as far as being in a relationship. I know you
Right.
just like daddy.
Right.
I know dads. I can say that.
Right.
But I respect Camille. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because she's not gonna whatever, anything. Not saying
Right.
you go through anything, but
Right.
both of y'all keep your relationship to yourself. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I can say is that if a man is not leading in those aspects, as far as finances,
Right.
then he contributes other ways. It's other
Right.
attributes.
Right.
If a man is coming home and you don't have to worry about the dishes being clean, you don't have to worry about the kids being taken care of, even though that's why I said at the beginning, the roles have changed. This is 2022. Even though I respect, and I know you don't understand. I know we can talk. Now, this can go all day. We can't go
we can talk. I know we can't go out there, but we can
all
talk
day.
Right.
But we can, you can definitely understand. I can understand certain stuff you say. You go back, you are just like daddy. You Papa, what I respect about Papa, and I love him to death. Don't nobody take care of me like Papa. Papa been taking care of me since I was little. He gets on my nerves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I know if I ever need it, he gonna talk shit, but I'm gonna get it.
Right.
Now that I'm over him, he really don't say shit to me.
Right. Right.
But he know I got him. If you don't know, I'm really like, why wouldn't you know?
Right.
Like, that's another subject too.
Yeah.
But if a man don't lead, he, like you said, he has all those other qualities. But like I tell Pooh all the time, the money problem still gonna always come back up. It's gonna always. It don't matter. So I understand
Right.
I understand your part when you
Right.
say, okay, if he ain't leading financially.
I'm asking. I'm asking because I don't think the woman is ready for that. Like a woman,
Right.
you said at the beginning, like, oh, the roles are switching in the households, and the man. I think, and I think I remember Cub asking me this a long time ago. It's our uncle, by the way, y'all. He was asking me about like, um, do I still feel like I could lead without the finance part? I'm like, hell yeah, I think it's who I am, like my nature of who I
But
am.
see, it
Like
go back to what you learned. Like I
right,
said, it start from the root. You had
right,
an
right,
awesome. I'm not tooting horns and saying we had the
right,
best parents and we didn't see
right,
shit. We saw
right.
daddy jerk mama up. We saw a lot of
Mm-hmm,
stuff. You
mm-hmm,
know, we saw a lot of
mm-hmm.
stuff we shouldn't have saw. We saw a
Right,
lot of stuff. Everybody got their own stuff in their family. But we
right,
saw a man take care of both of his families. You had
right,
to respect it. Daddy
right,
had a voice. Daddy come in
right,
the room. It's just like Wayne. That's what I said. You know, I love Wayne. Wayne nothing like Daddy. But what I
right,
mean is I respect Wayne. I respect
right,
Wayne to the fullest. That's my
right.
cousin, y'all. If he
Yeah,
come in the room, I'm gonna get up. You know, some
right,
men, you just like, okay, whatever. You
right,
know, it's certain
right,
men in our family I used to love to death, had the biggest
right,
respect for, but you just done let
right,
life go.
right,
You done got older.
right,
And now it's like, oh, you now I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you.
right,
Because I gotta get
right,
up every day. You get
right.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
finance part. A
right,
woman still has to lead in 2022. Like me and you could talk about that another day. You might
right,
not feel that way, but I
right.
feel as a woman that a
Uh-huh.
woman got to have their own because I come from a
Nah,
strong woman. My
nah,
mama
for
taught
sure.
me about that. My mama
Nah.
taught me how when her and daddy left, she was on her own and she had to make
Yeah.
it work.
Yeah, that's what I talked
And,
about at the
but we
beginning.
had a strong daddy now. But when
Yeah.
daddy and mama mad at each other, daddy holding back. See, it was a
Right.
lot of times we didn't see stuff. We was little. Now that you
Yeah.
getting older and you seeing
Yeah.
stuff, you like, damn, that's how it was. That's
Right.
really how it was. You got to
Mm-hmm.
give respect where it's due on both
Mm-hmm.
sides.
Mm-hmm.
I respect, like with my husband deal with a lot of unnecessary stuff on
Right.
his daughter's side. You know,
Right.
I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
It's the mentality. It goes
Right.
back to the mindset here.
Right.
It
Right.
goes back to the mindset.
Right. No,
But
I believe it. And the reason I brought up finances is because I believe that if this is hot. Like if a woman makes more money than a man,
so if you dating a woman that's bad, now I'm talking
right,
about like a Rihanna, a Beyonce.
right,
I gotta put
right,
it
right,
there because
right,
they money there. You
right,
know, they at the
right,
top. How you
right.
feel as a man? That makes you
I'm
feel belittled?
Nah, I'm strong in who I am.
Okay.
I'm saying like in a normal, like everyday relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
The woman will always look at that man like this mug. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think so. I don't
Well,
think so.
if it comes to and that's just if people on here chime in and talk about that, like when it comes to a woman
Because I get
that
what you're saying.
if a
Well,
woman
wait a
is
minute.
struggling, if
Yeah,
a woman
okay.
if we talking about finances and we get into like a man leading in the household, right?
Right.
When it comes to that, I think that the more money and we can get deeper because I think it's a society thing.
Yeah.
I believe that it was set up for the woman to start to get to where we are now.
Okay,
So
well, let me
we can
stop. Miss
Mhm.
Cynthia says she don't agree with you. That's
Right.
I mean, I know she can't come on here. I can't
No, it's
give you
cool.
her side.
No, it's
But let
cool.
me tell you my side real quick. Just
Right.
real quick, because we're gonna wrap it up. But I want you
All
to
right.
go more, just a little bit more in depth in that. I want you to
Mhm.
understand, like, as you grow, right?
Right.
And especially in a marriage. A marriage,
Mhm.
sometimes it's not always a man making more than a woman.
Right.
Take it back to D and Christy.
Right.
Take it back to that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, we don't know how it really was.
Right.
You might have thought on the outside D was doing this.
Right.
How you know what Christy was doing?
No, but what I'm not knocking. I think where we like misconstruing a little bit is like I'm saying that the woman can never make more money than a man. I don't believe that. I'm saying
Okay.
that when it takes a special person
Right.
in that realm. Especially, I'm not talking about somebody who's making 200,000. Everybody good, a house is good. I'm talking about, we struggling. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I'm out here getting to it, and you ain't coming to the table, because when that bill due, that love, that's all that shit go
Oh,
out the
yeah.
window. You like,
Oh, yeah.
I want the
Oh,
bread
yeah.
at the table.
Right.
Where is
Right.
it? So
Right.
then you start to like, that man starts to come smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, because the woman will use that, because that's one tool of like control, because the society has told us like, oh, the man controls the household, and for the last 15 however many years, the woman, they have starting to position a woman to take over the household.
Right.
So, you know, women have a whole list of issues. I mean, being a woman is one, and then being black another. Like, you got it all, you know, you got a lot of stuff that's stacked against you, but they would rather see a woman succeed
Right.
than a black woman succeed than a strong black man. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I understand.
I can put my money on that. And I'm not, like I said, I don't I don't think that, I know that there's women out here that make the bread and that can, and a woman is making 100 and a man is making 70. That's cool.
Right.
I'm not talking about that type of relationship.
You're talking about struggling.
I'm talking about the struggle.
Right.
When the woman is out here working 2 jobs and your man got 1 job.
Right.
And her bread.
And then that's a whole nother subject.
That's a whole nother one. You get what I'm saying? But it goes back into like what a man needs.
Right.
It's like the submissiveness. And when I say that, and I go back to like, as men, we have to make space. Yeah. We don't have to soak up all the space. Like Camille taught me that shit, man. Like one of her things, it stuck with me, and it sticks me to the core, because I have a, you know, either a way with words or like a way to talk to people. And she used to tell me all the time, like, yo, you can't tell me how to feel.
Right.
Like, because, and I'm like, damn, like, you're right about that. It may not mean that much to me or whatever the case may be, but like maybe that's strong for her.
Right.
But and I respect that stuff. So what I'll say is, like, going back to that, I think it really depends, like she said, like, it depends on the woman that you're dealing with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It depends.
Understands now.
It depends on the woman. Yeah, you got, like, man, I can go 2 hours on this mug, but it really depends on the woman that you're dealing with.
Right.
And it's a sticky space, man, because
it is.
You know, if you are both struggling and we know that we can trust each other, and babe, you may be in the driver's seat right now financially, man. When I was broken, I ain't had nothing, and I was staying in that apartment. You remember I was staying in Winston. I ain't had nothing in there. Camille would do what she needed to do, get me a couple dollars here and there, feed me, put groceries in my house. And I told her, I want you to understand, you doing this, you'll never have to worry about nothing for the rest of your life. Because that goes back to like, man, like you are like, you sacrificed for me and you didn't blast me for that. Right. You know, it's okay. Men don't always have to be financially strong and blah, 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 blah all the time. But at some point in time, like, I think the roles would change. Like, I do think if you had not saying it always will, but I think if the relationship starts in the struggle and it maneuvers, right, all the way through, like, where, you know, y'all both getting a job and she's holding it down at the beginning, and then the baby start to come, and the not the power, but everything starts to shift back to the man. Like, we all have a part, and we got to know, oh shit, it's my time. I know the success for me and what I got going on. I wouldn't be where I am without Camille. That's a fact. That I don't have to worry. I don't worry about my kids. I don't worry about, you know, they head being done and them going to school and them doing this and doing that. I don't have to worry about that. Because I have a woman that has worked and worked in the banking industry, did a great job at that, but she sacrificed, right, for me to go be great and get behind me and some stuff that I wanted to do. But I tell all the time, your season is up.
Yeah, it's time.
So your season is
you
here.
know, and that brings it back. You know, that brings it back what a man needs. You know, a man has needs. You know, me and you, we done had this conversation. I know this is a really juicy one. And I was nervous. You know, I really didn't know. I'm always nervous. I haven't got and Desiree, you know, that's my sister, y'all. She was like, I need you to stop being corporate. And I was like,
oh my God, I'm gonna text as soon as we get off. I'm like, man, if she don't let down this wall, man, get to it, man, get to it.
I
like,
said, I'm not being corporate.
Yeah, you
I'm
is.
just learning. I'm still.
Hey guys, not let all that down. The Brittany that we was just hearing, and the crying and the pain, that is what they need.
Right.
People, the man, the essence of that, right?
Right.
And like, and your original goal when you started the podcast was like, man, I want to like touch that girl that was young
Right.
and was going through the same shit I was going through. The only way you're gonna touch her is like to let all like strip all that stuff down. But it's gonna help
Right.
you grow in the same space.
Well, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming on the show, Head. Before we go, I want you to any other needs that a man needs that or anything that you want to say. You know, I
Right.
know that predominantly pretty like 70% of women are
Right.
looking at my podcast.
Right.
But I got a little bit of men out there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I want you to talk to them too. What is
Right.
something that you can say to the younger man and even the man right now struggling?
Right. Stay true to yourself. Stay true and authentic to yourself, and don't take no damn excuses. Like I don't, I think the worst thing that you can do as a man is, and with a man, I never say it until somebody give him the excuse of like, oh, well, my dad wasn't here, or but it's so like if you know that, right? Like you have to be better. Go educate yourself. Go surround yourself by strong people. I'm not the best in the finance world. I feel like I'm okay, but I'm not the best. Benny David, who is like my brother, that joker is solid in that space. So I always tip my hat to him and like, help me in this space where I gotta understand. I gotta like help me in that space. So like, guys, don't drop your pride sometimes. Cry around your homeboys because y'all know we don't do that a lot. And be real. And I think that's gonna allow you to grow. Don't worry about the female. That's gonna come. That's gonna come. Like it's billions of people out here in this world. That woman that you're looking for, that you want, is going to pop up at your front door because you have, opened up a lane for yourself and you're working on you. Don't tie it all back to finances, but you are like truly finding out who you are. And when you find out who you are, nothing can shake you. You can, Jay-Z said you can walk in a room full of vultures. Like you can walk in these rooms and feel okay because you know who you are.
I
So
love it.
Stay in those space, man. Stay in your space. And for that woman, continue to be great. I think we ain't shit without y'all, and understand that you have so much power. Just don't abuse it, because the moment that you abuse it with that man, that's why you get the guys to go out here and just treat women like they ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, make sure you nurture that man, because we deal with a lot out here. And continue to do your thing, man. Yes, we definitely gonna do a part 2, man. We might even co-host this thing together, man. I love doing shit like this.
You sound like my friend Brandy. I just want to thank you again, Head. Let them know where they can find you on social media.
Hey, y'all can find me on Instagram, Pat _ Junior 2. That's probably where I do most of my stuff at. And no, man, I appreciate everybody tapping in. Subscribe to this channel. It's great, a great listen. And yeah, thank everybody.
Thank you so much, guys. This is episode number 14. A Man Has Needs Too. This is Brittany signing out. I love you, Head. Proud
love
of
you too, baby. Truth be told, y'all tap in. Bye, guys.